Hello and welcome to my YouTube video where I am demonstrating the problems I'm having with my SB Signal Corporation automatic semaphore. I'll be giving you a little bit of history on this device, but let me just start by saying I was advised to use an Energizer battery. So right here, as you can see, I have a brand new, unopened, just purchased Energizer battery. Also, to demonstrate the newness of this battery, let me open this up here. There's the battery. I have a voltmeter here. I'd like to show you what we are registering on this brand new battery. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. I can do the two-pronged attack. We're clearly over 9 volts on this battery, which is a good thing. So hopefully we can eliminate battery from being any sort of problem with this mixture. So here is the signal in question. As you can see, it's a semaphore. The inside part is where I'm going to hook the battery up to the unit. So clearly I've not used this particular battery before. I've been using Duracells, I've used other Energizers, and they all perform the same way. But for this one, I'm using a brand new just for the video. So I put the battery in. I have not turned it on yet. There's the on-off switch. I'm going to turn it on. It should immediately go to a green aspect, and then it'll go over to a red. That's normal behavior, so don't freak out. So it goes to the green, should light up. And as you can see, it's turning over to the horizontal red aspect. And there she stays. Now, just for some comparison purposes, I realize this is probably going to be a long video. Hopefully this will fit into the 10 minutes that YouTube will allow, but I figure I can use this time here with some filler. Give you some background. I purchased a semaphore from SB Signal Corporation. They sent me one, and all it would do is exactly as you see here. Sit here at the red aspect. It would never do anything else. Sent an email, and Jim, the owner of the company, quickly mailed me an IC, an integrated circuit, a little chip. Swapped out the one on the internal, put the replacement in. Behaved in the exact same way. And this was setting the pot settings for all the different levels of the IR to everything from full on, full off, to middle, everything. So as you can see, this one's kind of behaving like my first one. Now my first one, I had that one sent back to Jim. He said, oh, he's going to refund me for my shipping for that, so that'll be nice when that happens. And this is the second unit that he sent me. And so far, this one would at least go to yellow sometimes for me. And that's what I was hoping to demonstrate here in the video so that you could see how well this performs with the brand new battery. Fortunately, it's not even doing that. So let me turn it off again, and we'll change the pot sensitivity settings in here. Forget which way it was from my last setting. It appears that it was all the way to the right. I'm going to go to the middle, which has been working out well for me. Again, use a little filler time here in this audio. So it should start off on that green aspect, should light up, and then it turns over to red. Okay, we've reached the red. Just to give you a little background info, at the same time that I purchased this semaphore from SB Signal, I also purchased a working Fred, which has worked beautifully, and I got a PRR style signal, again with the infrared detector and 9-volt battery hookup and everything. That's actually worked quite well. That one has not caused me any problems ever since I got that one. It's just been this pesky little semaphore guy here. Looks like it wants to stay red. Says it's behaving very much like my first one, unfortunately. Maybe I'll swap it out and go back to a Duracell battery so you can at least see it moving around and behaving poorly. Perhaps you're thinking maybe it's the environment. Well, let me introduce that Pensy style signal that I was describing to you previously. I don't know if you can kind of see it. Yep, looks like that'll work. Put this one over here. I'm going to turn this one on. As you can see, that would be the red aspect for a Pensy signal. It should momentarily go over to yellow and then to green on its own. If it doesn't, then we're just yep, there we go. There's the yellow aspect. Now I changed the dip switches from factory on this one, so it will take a little bit longer. I think it's set to the 8 seconds or something like that. If you're timing it, you'll know what it's set to. This is currently running off of a Duracell battery, the first one I put into it weeks ago. I've run this thing outdoors for hours and hours, so this is a well-drained battery. And I'll demonstrate now the IR detector system. So I'll just move my hand by, and you see it goes to the red aspect. So that's how a signal should behave. As you see, the semaphore signal on the right is doing nothing but staying red. Whereas the Pennsylvania style signal on the left is changing. So while that guy's changing again, let me switch off the semaphore. Again, this was using that brand new, as suggested, Energizer battery. I'm going to pop that out. I'm going to use a, well, actually this is a pretty new Duracell battery that I happen to have. This one, last time I had it in the semaphore, at least the semaphore would occasionally go yellow. That's what I was hoping to show you on the video, was that every now and then it will actually move. So let's get this guy up here. Go through the same boot up cycle. Switches over yellow to red. I'm going to trigger the Pensy one here, just so that they're red together. The semaphore is set from the factory with dip switches to, I think, like a 5-second interval. So it should go from the red aspect to the yellow aspect in 5 seconds, and then to the green aspect in 5 seconds. But it's not. So we've got the stuck on red, and the Pensy's yellow, and now the Pensy's green. So clearly that's done nothing. Let me switch this guy off again. I want to move the pot all the way to the left. This would be all the way to counterclockwise. So when we started this video, we were all the way clockwise. Moved it to the midpoint. Now we're all the way counterclockwise. So let's get that guy set up there. Using this boot up cycle. Once again, as it goes red here, I'm going to trip the Pensy, just so that that guy has a red aspect, so you can see the two together. Semaphore is staying red, Pensy staying red. Couple seconds, yep, there we go. Pensy is now going to the yellow aspect. Couple seconds, there we go. Now the Pensy is to the green aspect while the semaphore remains red. Well, maybe you're asking yourself, hey, is it the position on the table, something like that? Okay, fine. Let's switch these guys around. Look at that. Pensy is staying in the vertical green aspect. Semaphore is staying red. Semaphore has not changed. Let's get a little bit of alignment there for the camera. So, looks like this semaphore has actually regressed back to its original state, or like the one I originally received from the company. Leaving the Pensy one on here, I'm not triggering it, just so you can see that there's nothing going by, no errant movement that should be triggering the infrared signal system. Nothing at all. Okay, what I'm going to do next, this was another little sort of test that I was doing. Again, we'll leave the Pensy here just for giggles. By the way, if I move the Pensy past the semaphore, it should read the yep, it reads the solid of that, so that's good there. Found that if I point the IR directly at the ceiling, or at least by putting it sideways, sometimes I was able to get a little bit of favorable behavior out of this guy, but it really hasn't been like a terrible success. So let's see if this candle will hold it.